बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं वो इंटरेस्ट रेट ड्रॉप होने का इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं। तो आपको लगता है कि इंतज़ार करना एक सही स्ट्रैटेजी होगी या फिर जो अभी करंट मार्केट सिचुएशन है, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स हैं, इट इज़ ऑन द ऑप्टिमम लेवल दैट पीपल कैन जंप इनटू बाइंग अ न्यू होम?
See, if I had the power to see the future, I would say wait or don't wait.
ऐसे ही इस बात से मेरे दिमाग में एक सवाल आया कि जनरली स्पीकिंग अगर कोई $650, $700, $800 रेंट पे कर रहा है अभी, क्या ये रेंटल कैन कन्वर्ट इनटू EMI?
Absolutely.
5% वाला थिंग कि फर्स्ट होम बायर एज लिटिल एज 5% पे जाते हैं। सो 700,000 का अगर घर है तो 5% इज़ हाउ मच?
So 5% would be 35,000 if my maths is right.
Yeah. Welcome, Gaurav. Thank you for solving a lot of questions, queries, and assumptions last time.
Thank you.
Here we are again talking about the first home buyers. The
Yes.
questions never ends because there are so many myths, mistakes, and industry truth what first buyer needs to know, which we are going to decode in this talk today. So where do we want to start from? Do you have anything which you key takeaways from the last video we did together?
No, I'm all ears.
All
Floor
ears?
is yours.
Great. So I have my first question. So Gaurav, बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं वो इंटरेस्ट रेट ड्रॉप होने का इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं। तो आपको लगता है कि इंतज़ार करना एक सही स्ट्रैटेजी होगी या फिर जो अभी करंट मार्केट सिचुएशन है, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स हैं, इट इज़ ऑन द ऑप्टिमम लेवल दैट पीपल कैन जंप इनटू बाइंग अ न्यू होम?
See, if I had the power to see the future, I would say wait
Yeah.
or don't wait. Truth is, it's very hard to time the market. Banks, economists, mortgage advisors, any sort of industry professional you talk to, they all have their own opinions.
हाँ,
But more often than not, ऐसा होता है कि जो उन्होंने आज एक प्रोडिक्शन की है वो कल सच ना हो. फॉर मी, अगर आप फाइनेंशियली स्टेबल इन्वायरमेंट में हैं, यू हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग सेटअप और आपको कोई प्रॉपर्टी बहुत अच्छी लगी है, देयर इज नो पॉइंट इन वेटिंग. यू माइट एज वेल जस्ट जंप इनटू इट and have a clear plan for next 18 months is what I tell my clients. As long as you are set on a strong foundation for next 18 months, you'll basically manage most of the fluctuations, but you'll get in the right time, which would eventually in the hindsight look like the perfect timing.
सो ऐसे ही इस बात से मेरे दिमाग में एक सवाल आया कि जनरली स्पीकिंग अगर कोई $650, $700, $800 रेंट पे कर रहा है अभी, क्या ये रेंटल कैन कन्वर्ट इनटू EMI?
Absolutely.
हाँ.
आप 5% से शुरू कर सकते हैं with your as a first home buyer. You can pretty much start with 5%. There are properties in the market. You may be able to get into a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom with as little as $650, $700 per week EMI. तो डेफिनेटली पॉसिबल है. इट जस्ट डिपेंड्स ऑन कि आप क्या अचीव करना चाहते हैं. और वहीं पे हमारी हमेशा ये एक एडवाइस रहती है कि आप हमें रीच आउट कीजिए. वी कैन हेल्प यू विद दैट नंबर क्रंचिंग एंड अवॉइड दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ सिचुएशन वेयर यू आर डिलेइंग योर डिसीजन मेकिंग just because you don't have the right answers. We are here to help you.
Okay, so let's decode this 5% वाला thing कि first home buyer as little as 5% पे जाते हैं. So 700,000 का अगर घर है तो 5% is how much?
So 5% would be 35,000 if my maths is right.
Yeah.
Generally, that comes from KiwiSaver or your personal savings. आजकल काफ़ी क्लाइंट्स के साथ हमने नोट किया कि दे रिलाई ऑन गिफ्ट्स फ्रॉम फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिलीज, मोस्टली पेरेंट्स, सो दैट इज़ ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. और गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी इनिशिएटिव्स लिए गए हैं जहाँ पे दे प्रमोट डिफरेंट सॉर्ट ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर्स वे कैन गेट इनटू योर फर्स्ट होम एज क्विकली एज पॉसिबल विद एज लिटिल एज पॉसिबल. तो 5% के साथ आप केंगा और इनिशिएटिव्स देख सकते हो, या देयर आर कपल ऑफ बैंक्स हु can lend you 95% of the loan value as long as you fit certain criteria.
And if you can put some light on कि वो criteria क्या हैं, कितना एवरेज इन EMI आएगी, क्योंकि यही सारी फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग है जो फर्स्ट होम बायर बार 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 सोचता रहता है. तो वी वांट टू ease them out, thinking कि भाई अगर if they are coming to you, you will give them the best financial plan in terms of the deposit, interest rate, banks. So let's get little bit into that as well.
जनरली अगर आपका इनकम थ्रेशोल्ड 150K से कम है, व्हेन आई से 150K थ्रेशोल्ड आई मीन द हाउस होल्ड इनकम थ्रेशोल्ड.
Okay.
और अगर आप सिंगल हैं और आप 95K से कम अर्न कर रहे हैं, यू क्वालिफाई फॉर केंगा और फर्स्ट होम लोन ऑप्शन. दे हैव कम अप विद मेनी इनिशिएटिव्स इन द पास्ट, बट अभी उन्होंने काफ़ी सिंप्लीफाई कर दिया है. तो अभी आपको वो एक एसेंशली 95% लेंडिंग अप्रूव करवा के देते हैं,
जी.
और यू गेट द बेस्ट रेट्स इन द मार्केट, बेस्ट कैशबैक कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन. इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वालिफिकेशन तो आपको रेजिडेंट होना चाहिए. You should be buying your first home. If you already own a house here or anywhere else in the world, then you don't really qualify. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Third, you need to be in a stable income. So for Kangora, it's very important that they see stability in your income. अगर आप 12 महीने से सेम एम्प्लॉयर के साथ हैं या फिर 24 मंथ से सेम इंडस्ट्री में, it just becomes far more easier for us to present that case.
Yeah.
But most importantly, it's your income threshold. तो आपको 150K ब्रैकेट के अंडर अगर आपका हाउस होल्ड इनकम है, तो यू सर्टनली क्वालिफाई. या फिर अगर आप 95K से कम अर्न कर रहे हैं एज अ सिंगल एप्लीकेंट, देन दैट वर्क्स टू. बट just to give you some clarity around that, because a lot of times people do get confused. 150K is not your income as on today. It's the amount you've earned in last 12 months.
Okay, so that's your past income, not your future prediction.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you might be earning a combined household income of 160K right now. But अगर आपका gap था या you were on a lower income in last 12 months and you still sort of fit into that 150K threshold, you still qualify.
All right. And if somebody, a couple is earning more than 150K, then how does the situation changes?
Unfortunately, in that case, they don't qualify for Kangora. But BNZ offers similar sort of, I suppose, products where we can get them approved with as little as 5%. वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा difference ये आता है कि with banks you kind of have to pay higher margins. With Kangora, because they provide the undertaking on your behalf.
Okay.
तो वहाँ पे आपको essentially एक low risk category में डाला जाता है, जिसकी वजह से बैंक आपको better rates provide करता है.
Okay.
Whereas if you don't qualify for that option और आप बैंक के पास डायरेक्ट जाते हो, we can still get you the loan, but unfortunately आपको वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा margins pay करने पड़ेंगे. So again, it's all about numbers. अगर आपकी हाउस होल्ड इनकम अच्छी है, you have a strong foundation, we can still set you up on a correct path. As I keep saying, the very first thing you should do is not have any assumptions. Come and talk to us or any other mortgage advisor and we can help you with all those nitty-gritties.
Great. So do banks assess everyone the same way और हर किसी का अपना अपना क्राइटेरिया है, इंडिविजुअल प्रोफाइल का कुछ किसी इंडस्ट्री को प्रेफरेंस मिलती है या फिर किसी की हैबिट्स पे ये असेसमेंट अलग तरीके से होती है? सो व्हाट आर योर टेक अवे ऑन दैट?
See, every bank has more or less similar policies अगर आप एक core offering की बात करें, but then the diversion starts when it comes to overtime income, border income, self-employed, उसमें कौन कौन से expenses हैं. So there are many factors at play जो levers जिनको बोलते हैं, जो हम pull कर सकते हैं. To answer your question simply, no, each bank look at things differently. So if you're approved from, let's say, bank 1 for 1 million and you think that's your limit, that's actually not true. We may be able to get you 1.2 million is what, if you looking for slightly higher lending, but it's just that then we may have to try a separate bank, and that's exactly where mortgage advisors come into play, because we know how we can make that magic figure work for you rather than just presenting a blanket application to a certain bank.
So that basically means कि किसी को घर अगर मतलब if somebody is looking out in the market किसी को घर पसंद आ रहा है 1.2 million, बैंक ने बोला 1 million, so that 200,000 gap is where you come into the picture and you help them figure out the ways how they can actually buy that house, if I'm putting it in the right way.
Yes, more often than not. Yes.
Okay. So Gaurav, when a bank is approving any loan, so what are the habits what banks gather from the bank statement which help them determine if this person is good to go for lending so much money, or they have some sort of restrictions and reservations while approving the loan?
सी पहले तो मैं ये चीज़ क्लियर करना चाहता हूँ कि जो बैंक में लोग काम करते हैं वो भी हमारी तरह ह्यूमंस हैं. दे डोंट एक्सपेक्ट अस टू लिव लाइक रोबोट्स. व्हाट दे रियली लुक फॉर इज टू थिंग्स: financial responsibility and consistency. When I say consistency, I mean they want to see a regular savings history, that you've been good with your repayments, that you've been saving slowly and gradually, and you're putting efforts towards it. So I'll probably give you a couple of scenarios. एक couple हमारे पास आता है और वो हमें बोलता है कि we work in IT, we earn roughly 400K annually combined, but we can't get approved. And then you look through their profile and you see clearly why that's happening.
Yeah.
Their account is repeatedly going into overdrafts. They miss a lot of repayments, lot of dishonors. And then you've got another client who walks in and says ki hamari household income is roughly around 200K. But then when you look at their account conduct, they've been very responsible, consistent, punctual with their repayments. We can clearly see कि वो constantly एक effort डाल रहे हैं save करने के लिए. And they don't have a lot of liabilities in terms of personal loans, car loans, or any other sort of
credit cards
or addictions.
Yeah.
Gambling, for example.
Yeah.
तो अब what do you think? कौन सा client would be the favorite client for the banks?
Oh, probably number 2, who been consistent and responsible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so it does matter how much you earn, but at the same time, we kind of have to look at your overall financial profile, not just your income. So if you're not good with your, money, chances are banks would treat you a high risk customer.
So ऐसे cases में अगर let's suppose approval होता भी है, which I'm sure you might have ways to explain to the bank कि अभी हैबिट्स चेंज हो गई हैं, एंड देन देर आर सो फॉर एग्जांपल इफ देर इज़ अ बोनस कमिंग वेयर यू कैन राइट ऑफ द क्रेडिट कार्ड एंड गेट रिड ऑफ योर पर्सनल लाइबिलिटीज़. सो उस केसेस में ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ें हैं जो एक फर्स्ट होम बायर अपनी लाइफ में चेंजेस ला सकता है जिससे उसकी अप्रूवल रेट बढ़ जाए?
मेरे हिसाब से सबसे पहला और सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट स्टेप है टॉकिंग टू अ फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर. एज आई said couple of times, a lot of people hold themselves back thinking they're not quite ready yet. But जब हम conversation start करते हैं and we start looking at options, then it becomes clear to them as well that they can start even tomorrow. Yes, अगर आपके ऊपर कुछ liabilities हैं, आपके personal loans हैं, car loans हैं, in an ideal world you would want to pay them off first. But what I'm trying to say is you probably don't have to wait 8 months to pay that off before you get into the property ownership. You can do that tomorrow as long as your numbers stack up overall, and that's where we come into the picture.
So there can be a consolidation loan kind of a thing कि ऐसा कुछ किया जा सकता है?
हाँ, हो सकता है. Depend करता है आपकी overall LVR position पे and what sort of deposit you're bringing, but there are options.
Okay, cool. So now बहुत सारे first home buyers ना they take too much time looking for the focusing on the property but not enough on the loan part. तो उनके लिए आपके लिए क्या एडवाइस है कि 3-4 महीने हो गए घर देखते देखते and they are not able to make the decision. So how would you sort of guide them कि what should be their strategy in terms of कि भाई बहुत हो गया देखना, अभी it's time to take the action?
मेरे पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस में जो मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है, जनरली इट्स अ 3 to 4 months window. If you find something within that period, great. If you don't, then the fatigue kicks in and then everything gets fuzzy. You can't really make up your mind what you really want to go for. वो जनरली तब होता है जब either you're constrained with budget, which is a
most of the cases
reason. But then there are other scenarios where you can't choose a property because you have certain pre-assumptions. And I often say this ki, unfortunately, in cities like Auckland, Wellington, to an extent, Tauranga, आपका first home may not be your dream home. This is a ladder towards a property ownership and then eventually financial wealth. तो मेरी एडवाइस ये रहती है मेरे क्लाइंट्स को कि आप स्टार्ट कीजिए वो जर्नी, बाय स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रॉपर्टी, अ सॉलिड प्रॉपर्टी, डोंट रश इनटू इट, बट एट द सेम टाइम डोंट रिस्ट्रिक्ट योरसेल्फ टू अ सर्टेन सबर्ब और certain kind of property. As long as you see potential in it, go for it.
So what are the key things जो एक potential strong property में first home buyer को देखनी चाहिए?
आज की डेट में I think first thing you should look for is structurally whether it's sound or not.
Yeah.
If it is a brand new house, chances are it would be built as per the compliance. But अगर कोई existing घर है, तो you kind of want to make sure that there's not a lot of renovation work that would come up in the future. Whether it's in the flood zone or not, that's quite important these days, because otherwise insurer probably won't really insure the property, so it would be a clear no-go. Then on top of that, I suppose a lot of people do think about the neighborhood, which is again such an important factor for you as a first home buyer.
True.
Few clients come to me and say they don't really want to buy a cross lease property. Now this is just my personal opinion. Yes, in an ideal world you should buy a freehold. But at the same time, cross lease are not something that I would just blindly
say no to,
cross off. Because इस मार्केट में मैंने नोट किया कि काफ़ी प्रॉपर्टीज जो अच्छी हैं वो अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्रॉस लीज हैं. तो अगर आपको स्टार्ट करना है एंड यू गेट द राइट प्रॉपर्टी एट द राइट प्राइस एंड इफ इट इज़ क्रॉस लीज, माई पर्सनल एडवाइस इज गो फॉर इट. बट एंड ऑफ द डे एवरीवन has their own ways of looking at things. So talk to a professional, whether that's us, that's a lawyer, that's a real estate agent, and go from there.
Perfect. Now let's get on to the talk of the town, which is the KiwiSaver. Mr. Laxan is all in on the KiwiSaver. So what is your opinion? Can somebody use their KiwiSaver if they are building a new home?
Yes, you can use that.
Okay.
As long as it's your first home and you're planning to live in that, yes, you can.
Okay. What are the eligibility requirement to use KiwiSaver for the first home?
So typically you need to tick 2 boxes.
Yeah.
First one, that it needs to be your first home. Actually 3 boxes.
Yeah.
It needs to be your first home.
Yeah.
Your intention should be to live in that house, so it has to be an owner-occupied property. If you're just buying an investment property as your first home and you're wanting to withdraw KiwiSaver,
then you can't. Yeah.
But third and more importantly, you should be eligible to withdraw it. काफ़ी बार ऐसा होता है कि clients हमारे पास आते हैं and they say कि we don't even know whether we're eligible or not. And that's where we say to them, talk to your KiwiSaver provider. It's as easy as just dropping them an email or giving them a ring and just figuring out whether you're eligible or not. And you can actually get an eligibility confirmation letter from them, which is quite handy for us to pass on to the banks, because the banks would like to make sure that you can use it towards your deposit.
So how does this work? So the person who is looking for the loan, they reach out to KiwiSaver people and ask them for the eligibility. They give them the letter and then share it with you, and you share it with the bank.
Yeah, so hopefully in near future we'll do a separate podcast on KiwiSaver, because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But the biggest eligibility criteria for you to withdraw that amount, barring the $1,000 grant that the government gives you, is that you have to be contributing towards KiwiSaver for at least 3 years.
After withdrawing or before?
Before.
Or you have been
Yes.
putting the money?
For example, अगर आपने 2016 में KiwiSaver contribution start की थी, then the eligibility criteria, or how they check the eligibility criteria, is based on whether you have been contributing for 3 years from that period onwards.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be for 3 years consistently.
Straight away, yeah.
If you had any savings suspension for 6 months, and before that you were contributing for 2 years, and now again you're contributing for 1 year more, you're kind of eligible to withdraw it.
Perfect.
We can help you with that,
Mm-hmm.
but at this stage, just to keep it simple, I would say if you are with ANZ, ASB, Fisher Funds, or any other KiwiSaver provider, reach out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just, literally just give them a call and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and they'll issue you a letter within minutes.
Okay, so it's a very straightforward process. Yeah, perfect. So, what do you think you need to keep in mind while planning to use KiwiSaver for deposit? Again, because that's where you have saved money. So now
Yes.
you want to utilize that.
So if most of your savings are in KiwiSaver, or your deposit is coming predominantly from KiwiSaver, and you don't have any additional savings apart from that, when you go unconditional, the vendors would expect you to put that money into the trust account or solicitor's trust account the next day, or maybe on the same day. But for you to withdraw that KiwiSaver, there's a certain process where the solicitors can help you.
Mm-hmm.
It usually takes 5 to 10 working days from the day your deal
Application.
becomes unconditional
Okay.
for you to have that money in the account.
Mm-hmm.
So always make sure that you clarify this with your solicitor.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're putting an offer, then you make sure that you're giving yourself those additional 10 working days beyond the unconditional date for you to get that money, and then essentially pay that deposit. Because otherwise, if you commit to paying it on the day of going unconditional and you don't have KiwiSaver in the account yet, you get stuck. You probably can't really go anywhere from
That's
there.
where you come into the picture, explaining the person कि भाई किस तरीके से आपको सारी प्लानिंग करनी है.
Exactly.
बाद में जाके it should not be कि you are not honoring your unconditional settlement.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now I have something interesting to ask. If you could see someone's bank statement for 5 minutes, what are the first thing you looked at?
First thing I would look at is इनकम आ रही है कि नहीं. कोई मुझे बोलता है कि अगर मैं 200 के अर्न कर रहा हूँ और I can't see anything, then I have to find out whether that's a legit statement or not.
Yeah.
Secondly, are there any dishonors?
Mm-hmm.
Third, is the account going in overdraft every so often,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's not meant to go?
Yeah.
Because that generally builds a sort of profile in your head about what the client does or does not. And I suppose apart from that, you kind of want to look at how good they are with their savings. So if they're accumulating their savings gradually and consistently, the chances are they're they're thinking about it, and they're very particular in terms of saving money.
Perfect. So abhi koi let's suppose abhi somebody is say 18 years old, but he's very smart and he takes life seriously, and he just got his first job, and he's like, let's say he's 2 to 3 years away from buying his first home. So what advice would you give to that young chap? What are the things he should be doing, keeping in mind while they figure out their first home buying?
So again, account conduct is one. Make sure that you are responsible with your money.
Mm-hmm.
Work backwards from your end goal. If putting money towards KiwiSaver is a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
You can always choose a conservative fund over a growth fund, because growth fund generally has higher fluctuations, higher returns as well. But with conservative approach, you kind of build that portfolio, at a consistent pace. You can probably put 10% towards KiwiSaver, and that allows you to grow that quicker along with your employer's contribution. But by and large, it's about having that clear mindset that this is what you want to achieve. And again, we can help such young buyers get into their first home from there. To that point, मैं आपको एक example दे सकता हूँ कि last year I had a guy who was 18 coincidentally,
Yeah.
and I helped him buy his first home.
At the age of 18.
Yes.
Wow. Dream come true. Nice. So अगर कोई 18 साल का है अभी, so they should be talking to the financial advisor today, like now, or when they have saved enough money, what would your be recommendation to that guy?
My recommendation would be talk to us now. Don't wait 6 months, because that's exactly where we come into the picture. If we have the conversation today, we can help you set it up in such a way that you have a strong foundation 6 months later.
Yeah.
Don't just delay that conversation because you think you may not be able to do this. Start tomorrow or start today. We can help build a plan for you from where you can start executing those small steps and be in a position to have a strong case for you to buy your house 6 months later.
You think कि अगर किसी ने 18 साल की एज में घर खरीद लिया तो जीवन भर उसको रेंट देने की जरूरत नहीं है?
पॉसिबली यस. हाँ, अगर आप स्मार्ट हो, अच्छा अर्न कर रहे हो एंड यू ऑलरेडी हैव दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ माइंडसेट कि मुझे ये करना है, तो देन स्काई इज द लिमिट. आप रास्ते ढूंढोगे अपना गोल अचीव करने के लिए.
18 years की एज पे if somebody buys a house, what trait do you think they have the most out of 10? So are they more like, you just need to, like, I'm giving you two choices. वो ज़्यादा smart हैं या ज़्यादा disciplined हैं?
I think to me the biggest quality I would see is कि they're open to learning. Right? I'm not 18 anymore.
Yeah.
I'm probably double the age of the candidate we're talking about. But हम सभी कुछ ना कुछ सीख रहे हैं every day, right? तो उस young age में if you have that sort of mindset that you want to grow, first thing you should do is just have an open mind about things and have that desire to learn and grow from there.
So discipline, yes, smart.
I would say both. Kind of need to have both qualities. You need to be smart enough to know what really you want to achieve, and then you need to have the discipline in order to execute that plan. So both. So
out of these first home buyers, you think if you have to differentiate, if you have to put them in a age brackets, let's say we're just going wild here, so which age bracket buy their first home first? Is it between say 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, or 35 to 40?
I don't think there's
broad spectrum, but still take a guess.
I would say mostly young professionals in their late 20s or early 30s is what I would call a sweet spot. But age is just a number these days. I mean, मैं आपको एक example दे सकता हूँ कि couple of years ago we helped an old couple, and I say old in terms of banking terms, not really old by heart. They were actually 65 and 61,
and they were buying their
first home.
Okay. So if you are away in your home buying journey, so let's say it's going to come 2 to 3 years down the line, what is the single most important thing which you can do from today onwards, which will define your trajectory in the first home buying journey?
Don't take on massive personal debt. काफ़ी लोग जो जर्नी स्टार्ट कर रहे होते हैं, they feel like कि ठीक है यार, अभी मैं एक fancy car ले लेता हूँ, या I can afford to have 3-4 credit cards, or I can take on personal loans, or I can go on
vacations,
world tour. All of this makes sense. Look, you kind of have to live your life, but as I often say कि अगर आपको बड़ी वॉर जीतनी है तो छोटी छोटी बैटल्स लूज करनी पड़ेंगी. तो हैव अ क्लियर प्लान एंड बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल विद योर मनी. आई थिंक दैट्स प्रॉब्ली द बॉटम लाइन, कि अगर आपका प्लान क्लियर है एंड यू आर एग्जीक्यूटिंग इट वेल in liaison with us, we are helping you build it and doing a constant check-in on that, and you set up properly for that plan. Don't go off the track and buy something out of the blue and say कि पाजी मैंने तो 150K की Mercedes खरीद ली, उनकी नहीं होगा.
Okay, Gaurav, another burning question. Should someone just keep on renting, or they should buy?
Buy if you can afford it.
One thing every first home buyer should do this month.
Do a financial health check with us or any other financial advisor.
One thing every first home buyer should stop doing today.
Don't get into personal debts.
Most common reason mortgage applications get declined.
adverse credit history, be responsible with your financial decisions.
And best first step if you want to buy within next 12 months.
Come and talk to us. We can help you.
Great. So Gaurav, if somebody wants to come and talk to you about their first home buying journey, what are the ways they can reach out to you?
There's a link in the bio, or they can reach out to me via phone call, text, or WhatsApp message.
So description में सारी information है?
हाँ, सब कुछ
Okay,
है.
perfect. So guys, if you are planning to buy your first home, then there is a link in the description. Click that link, get in touch with Gaurav, and he'll be more than happy to help you with the entire process. Take care of yourself. We shall see you in our next video. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.